Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge Aftershow, the aftershow for the challenge. Tonight, we're talking about episode 16, a most wanted man. Kind of the same thing, but not really. Ladies, how are you? Oh, pink ladies in the house.
Woo!
Pink ladies.
Pink.
You too, Dan. You too, pink lady.
Yeah.
It's muscle season, even though it's always muscle top season for Dan.
Yep.
It's getting hot out here. As you can see, I officially have my tan line of the season from being outside all week. Pam, you were outside all
Pink
week.
shirt, pink skin. Yep, pink. Just wanted to blend
Pink shirt
my skin in
gang.
If you want to hop on Instagram, Pam's got a fantastic picture of her on Instagram in a pool last weekend. So
oh, I
congratulations.
do.
Pam.
That's right.
I saw
Well,
it.
I'm in Palm Springs. And it has been even for Palm Springs, I think LA's been super hot as well, but it's been like 80s, 90s every day. So it's nice.
Shout out Pam's Instagram.
Yeah, woo.
Jenna, how's that warm weather out here?
It's actually warm, okay? So
yeah.
And that's my Jersey attitude, coming with the warm weather.
There you go. Beautiful.
You can't handle the humidity.
I can't. That's why I left New Jersey.
Yeah. I grew up in Massachusetts. That's why I'm here now. Yeah. Ladies, let's get into the episode.
Right. You can see it in my hair a little bit. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I really hope if they bring the skulls back again next season, that they make it so not everyone has an opportunity to get the gold skulls. Now, I know a lot of people went home this season, ladies, so that's the reason why everyone's getting an opportunity. But also, there's still more challenges left. They had 2 leftover challenges that they decided to do, even though everyone has a gold skull. They have to narrow it down more, I guess. But they were going to have 10 people no matter what, because they offered 10 skulls. So I'm confused. Were they just going to keep playing until everyone had a gold skull? That's my point.
I think the stealing should have happened way earlier. Like that you'd have to fight to keep or to go in way earlier, because it was like, I don't feel like getting mine yet. And so the past couple of ones were like, oh, let's send in people that need it. It like turned into romper room for, for people getting their gold skulls. Like, you need a chance and you need a chance. It should have been more cutthroat, I think, earlier, the gold skulls.
Yeah, I agree. Or they could have lessened the amount of gold skulls. But the thing is, we don't know what the writers were thinking from the way the season started to where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Some episodes are an hour and a half. Some episodes are an hour. Like, maybe they went into it with one intention and everything just kind of fizzled out. Because, I feel like the whole gold skull situation started out as such a good plot, like in seasons past, but it always kind of falls through. Like, the politics, the alliances get too strong, where it almost feels like gold skulls, it doesn't even have a purpose anymore at a certain point.
Until Dan, you just said that, I was like, oh, right, the gold skulls. Like, yeah, the stakes are low with it. Right, now it's like there's 10 people and 10 gold skulls.
Yeah, it didn't affect anyone's game, only making people want to technically go into an elimination more, but they all would have gotten an opportunity no matter if they waited. If Big T tried to wait until this week, this was her second time in now. She could have done it this week in theory too. It's just, I didn't think it was worth it.
And producers aren't perfect. They're only human too. So maybe they went into it thinking like, okay, here's how this season's gonna go. And then they realized like, shit, 12 episodes later, here we are. Remember that whole thing that we were trying to write in about the gold skulls? Yeah, it doesn't really mean what it used to, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I really know what the plan was with it, but here we are now and they don't mean anything.
I thought it was kind of stupid last season with the red skulls, because at least it should have been, if you get 2, you've banked 2. You know what I mean? I don't remember all the particulars, but Jay got his taken away, but it's like, but he had 2. So doesn't he get 2? Like, I don't know.
Shouldn't have been like
the skulls situation has not been very thoroughly thought out.
That's right.
I don't love it.
Jay ended up getting 2, but then when he lost once, they still eliminated him from the show, even though he had 1 left.
Right.
Technically, right.
It's like, well, he should have a gold skull then, because he still has 2. Yeah, that didn't make sense.
I feel like the challenge in general is starting to focus more on quantity instead of quality. Like, it could have just been a really good 10-episode season. They could have lowered the skull count, made the episodes with less filler, and gotten to the punch a little bit quicker for good quality of competition, good quality of TV. But I feel like they're just pumping out hour-and-a-half episodes, maybe COVID, maybe because they feel like they can. but it's kind of losing like its actual storyline. It's losing a little bit of its punch, which is sad. And I know like we're all diehard fans from the beginning, but I feel like the last few seasons have really started to just lose a little bit of oomph towards the end for me.
I'm with you,
know
Jenna.
what? That 1 hour episode tonight, that had no filler, Jenna. It was perfect. They did a full storyline for us in 1 hour.
They did. And I'm with you, Jenna, in that it used to be like edge of your seat, nail biting the whole time, even if it was long some seasons. And now, again, I'll always love it and I'll still watch it. But yes, I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday, it's the challenge. I used to literally be like, what's gonna happen? And not now. I have to like refresh what happened, and it's not nearly as compelling.
And honestly,
yes, literally from the second the ending credits rolled, I would be like, I can't wait until next week. Like I have to talk about.
Yes.
Ladies, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you a major thing that's missing, and it's been missing for a couple seasons now. They need to cast people that want to hook up with other people. They can finagle this. I'm serious. It's missing a whole lot for me.
I agree.
I love a good hookup.
Well, that's what they brought in the British people, and it did bring in new life for a little while. Now the British people are like married and have babies. So we do need some fresh blood. We like the OGs. Can't we do like the challenge, the divorce years? Like, aren't a bunch of original people in like ready for their second marriages now? Well, think about it. We do. We've got Brad and his wife who met on the challenge. I'm sure there's a buttload of people that are challenge age that got married and they're like early and are now ready, are single again. That can come like Derek. Derek was CT, now is single again. Like let's bring back some of their hookups.
I'm also missing the love stories. The love stories that happen on this show.
Yeah, I'm missing the inner house drama.
You can't have that when someone's from Britain and someone's from America. They're less likely to want to fall in love. Like they're not going to want to even try that. They live across different continents.
Well, Cara and Kyle was a good plot line. I mean,
even it was great.
No, we hated, but yes, good.
Yeah, but you don't think about it when you're living in the house that, oh, it's not going to work out forever. I mean, I don't think that doesn't bother me. The other thing that I think has caused a real problem, while I enjoy some of the Big Brother players, and I do think there were some games now played like Big Brother, where this mass alliance that comes in together runs the game for the whole thing. It's just numbers, and it's like, that's boring. That's been the past 3 seasons, is some massive alliance has just been picking everyone off, and it's
completely agree. And I feel like every episode looks like it's going to be potential to again have you on the edge of your seat, have you excited about something, and it's just always so predictable because you have these powerhouse alliances. And I love Leroy and Cam as people, and I want them to win money as people. What they're doing is incredible. They have finessed the entire game to work in their favor. They're a couple that split up, implemented different alliances, got numbers in different areas of the house and made it work. So great for them. But as a viewer, it's like, because of that, it's like, it's boring to watch. It's predictable because you know that they rule the alliances and Big Brother rules an alliance. So it's just kind of like, all right, we know exactly what's happening here.
Yeah.
We called it last week. We knew it was going to be CT and Kyle's teams going down there. And that's exactly what happened. So it's not exciting. It wasn't. This episode was not exciting for me personally. I was kind of bored, just hanging out, knowing what was going to happen.
Yeah.
The competition, like, so should we get? Are we starting now? Like, I
know.
We had our in-depth analysis first.
I mean, all right. So yeah. So sure. Big T and CT do their big workout. I mean, how produced was that? I mean, what the hell?
Oh my God, guys.
CT.
I feel like this is such a dreary. This is such a sad, like gloomy episode we're doing right now. But yeah, there's just not as much to be excited about. But I actually thought in the beginning, the CT Big T friendship realliance was really cute.
Me too.
And I was wondering, did you guys think that Big T got to forgiveness too early? Was she too easy to forgive CT?
No, what's the point? You have to work as a team. I mean, like, you can't hold a I mean, I think there was enough of their bad blood is my answer to that. But real quick shout out to Amber B's pajamas. I'm realizing now Amber B might be my style icon. Yeah, she had a really cute pajamas. I'm gonna have to go back and pay attention to clothes. They're like pineapples on them or something.
She's absolutely gorgeous. She could wear a paper bag. She looks like a Victoria's Secret model.
She's very pretty.
Yeah, I find her attractive as well. I've said this multiple times.
Yeah. Yes.
Shocking.
Yeah, big T and CT. I thought that was really cute. I mean, again, I was like, so Dan told me last week that you cannot get in shape for endurance in 2 weeks, though, that you can't earn 4 days. Like, he's not going to give her endurance.
And then did it look like she had enough strength against Amber B? Like she tried, but that was over pretty quick. I'm sorry, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal that she did okay against her. I was like, whatever. Neither of you chose Big T to win. Neither did I. I mean, there's no way we thought she was going to win that hall brawl. Did you give her a fighting chance?
I'm really rooting for her, though.
Did we know that it was a hall brawl last week? Did we talk about the actual game?
But they fake trained for a hall brawl, so we were remember. Yeah.
When we walked up, when they showed that it was a hall brawl tonight, I was like, are you fucking kidding? Because I thought, again, they were going to put CT against a smaller, skinnier dude, the way they put Fessy the Giant against like a smaller 5'9" Nelson. Sure, Kyle has some height, but he's obviously not a massive giant like CT. So thinking it's going to be a guy's elimination, I was like, all right, come on. Like, we're going to do this sort of hall brawl. Like, it's always the massive guys versus the smaller guys. But then they flipped it for the girls' elimination. So,
but ladies, it's so obvious that if Kyle doesn't win next week, he's guaranteed to be down there. That's why this episode, I already know he's going to be down there. I don't have any spoilers.
Unless he wins next week.
That's what I just said. If he wins, then of course not. But
right.
He loses, he's guaranteed to be down there, and he's probably going to have to go against. He's going to lose. I think he'll lose, guaranteed.
I don't know. The other thing is now that is the most interesting thing to come of this episode, which, first, so the metal ball thing, should we just roll over that real quick? It looked like it'd probably be fun to do. It was so boring to watch. It's like, okay, watching this is so stupid.
I couldn't believe how many targets they ran over. I'm like, thank God I wasn't there watching them roll over 53 targets. Who gives a shit? Let them run over 5 targets in 20 seconds and be done with this challenge. 53. Right. Get out of here with that. It was too
long. That's the whole thing with these alliances. Once it becomes these strategic number alliances, then the competition is even fun because it's like Leroy and Casey are rolling around footloose and fancy free. Well, footloose. Well, no one was even blocking them, it's like,
I know, it was so dumb.
Right. So it's just like everything's great. There's a numbers alliance. Hopefully, maybe Amber B and Fessy will, even though they're still sort of big brother, they obviously are like, now we know it's Cam. Well, now it's Leroy and Cam's teams. I mean, like, are the numbers each? So there's only 4 teams right now, right? So they're going to have to put, if it's got to be 2, Fessy's going to have to go against. Kyle's going to have to go against someone if he doesn't win. You know what I mean?
Guaranteed. And that's the crappy thing. We already know one person that's going to be down there if he doesn't win. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah, they need, they need to, I don't like that. I'm over these mass alliances running the whole game from start to finish. It just.
Right. Exactly. That's why I feel like they kind of need to reshift the challenge entirely. I don't know if it's just us or just me. People in the comments, let us know if you also are feeling similarly, where you feel like the game's getting kind of dragged down and predictable. I think they need to switch up. As much as I love the personalities, but maybe they did a season where they just took regular people, like back to the roots, where they're just kind of casting from the beginning again, just plucking people out of their normal jobs instead of going for reality TV stars.
Right. Agreed. They can do fresh meat. I mean, even this show's done fresh meat. They've brought people in. You can bring in people we don't know to partner. They did that with, and it was interesting. That season, I don't even remember what it was called, where the bunker, but not in the bunker, but they dropped them in the somewhere weird, and all the prospects. It was the season when they called it the
I think that was War of the Worlds, possibly.
Yeah, I mean,
but again, I still just feel people are.
Weren't those prospects already reality stars?
They were, but they were new to us.
Yeah.
So I think we need to get entertaining people like the real world used to do, but also like entertaining athletic people, but that have never been on a reality show before. I think, Jenna, that would be a lot of fun to watch because you have a bunch of people trying to prove themselves. They'd be a lot younger because you get 22, 23-year-olds. They'd all want to hook up. I think you'd have a really fun season there and just call it rookie class. And
go to colleges and recruit. Like go to college campuses and pick.
Then you're having that's like road rules. Then you're having like another road rules type situation too. Like where
I feel like this world today isn't everybody a reality. Like everyone has their own. It's not the same as when people didn't have
I'll be on the new show. I'm not a reality star.
All right.
I auditioned to be a male model on The Price is Right once, and I placed 11th. So that was cool.
That's 11 out of probably a lot. That's good.
They were doing a male model search, and I auditioned years ago. I got 11th place out of like over 300 people. They said I was a little too goofy. I was more of a host than a model, and I was like, I couldn't agree more. Let me know when Drew gets sick. I'll fill in.
Right.
So does that mean you'd be somebody like standing by the new car?
I couldn't do it seriously
Right.
enough. They didn't want me. It was fine.
That's incredible. Well, good for you putting yourself out there, though.
Anyways, yeah. So Amber B gets upset with Casey because she's like, I can't believe you're thinking of voting me in. But my whole thing was, Amber B, I love you, but there's no one left, and you're a rookie. So go in there and just prove yourself again. And she did great. I mean, she went against Big T, but whatever. So do you think that Amber B should have been mad at Casey? Because I don't really see that. Who cares? Sorry, you don't have the numbers.
No, except that she's presupposing that Casey, I think in Amber B's mind, Casey doesn't want to put her in, but Leroy's not going to put in Nani or Cam. So then it's like, well, then speak your mind. But I don't think Casey cares either. But that's where Casey's like, I don't give a shit, Amber. That's where
to care. It's too late in the game to care.
Well, I think, yeah.
Amber B had to shoot her shot though, so she probably had to see if she could get a little bit into Casey's head, try to use the sympathy card, try to play like we're big brother, we're friends card. I mean, she can't help but have a natural emotion of feeling somewhat upset because she's clearly the big brother outcast.
Right.
Like she's right there. She kind of thought she was with them this whole time, but clearly when push comes to shove, she's the first one out.
Sure.
That's a hard pill to swallow. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's the game. And I don't think she's being over dramatic about it, but she has to kind of shoot her shot too and just try to see if she could get in with Casey. It's like what Kyle and CT were supposedly planning with their fake deliberation fight, which was a huge flop that we'll get into, but now you have to just pull these strategies out of anywhere you can. But
it was a huge
I wanted to compliment Amber B though in the challenge of the day in the metal cages. I thought she was awesome. I thought she was kicking ass. She was taking charge. She was being vocal with Kyle. She was a leader on her team. And I loved her intensity the whole time that she was like, basically, F you, Fessy, I'm coming after you. She was awesome. So I really like that she showed that like competitive spark that we haven't seen as much.
Yeah, they almost won. Sorry for talking over you. Yeah, and I feel like they should have won considering no one even defensed. Yeah, that's why, again, it's boring. It's like they are the real winners of that. Kyle and Amber shouldn't have been called down because they should have won.
Amber B is proving herself more and more every week. She's one of those rookies. Yeah, Fessie's technically right. She was carried along with that Big Brother alliance, which I can't stand. I really do. I'm with Devin 100%. Big Brother sucks. I don't want them to be on the show. I don't even want them to be on the show, to be honest with you. But, you know, Amber B, she's winning basically back-to-back eliminations almost. And yeah, she beat two girls that were smaller than her, but still, she still won. You can't help who you go against. You have to go in there.
No, she does well in, she's not like a.
She does well in dailies. She does well in dailies as well. Yes. I like her. I'm in.
Well, now we know she's a rugby player.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not entirely surprised that she's athletic and strong and good at stuff.
And isn't it funny later on, Fessy made comments, pot calling the kettle black about how Amber B has become so entitled in this game. And I'm like, oh, you're saying that. You're saying that, Fessy. About it's who has entitlement in this game. Okay. You've chosen to go against the weakest person in elimination. Or no, not the weakest. Sorry. It was not to go against the weakest person because you bitched out and you made a dumb move. And then you went against your best friend who is a lot smaller and skinnier than you. Almost took his eyes out. Haven't done anything much since, but because you're big and strong, you have used that privilege to get you all the way to the final. So Fessy, we see you. We see you.
Besides Amber B, do you girls like any of the other Big Brother people this season or in previous?
I love Casey. I mean, I like Casey. I don't mind if they bring Casey back, but I don't want such mass numbers that it can be these game ruling alliances once it's partner games, because then it brings in challenge people too. I don't mind having one or two. If it was like Casey and Pauly on a season, fine. You know,
Carl lives.
But Carl lives. Watch the live.
He's living every week.
Pauly are gonna. Carl and Pauly are dying Easter eggs, guys. Check it out.
Cara and Pauly probably worked out today. News and gossip.
I bet Cara and Pauly did some exercise.
Cara dyed her hair another color. She literally did. I saw it on Instagram. She dyed her hair.
News and gossip on the alarms. No, I agree. I love Casey. She's just all around. Like, she's just the coolest, most laid person, has such a grip on herself and good demeanor, and she kicks ass.
Yeah, so like keep Casey, but not these mass numbers where they can have an alliance.
Yeah.
No more.
Agreed. Guys, this is like the least amount of notes I've had.
There's a Big Brother guy, Tyler, won his season, and he lives in like somewhere. I'd like to see him on. He's a good competitor. I think he'd be a good challenger. Tyler, I don't remember. You guys can refresh me.
As Jenna mentioned earlier, Kyle's scheme flops. But I liked it at first. I was hoping they'd go for a tie because I wanted to see what the hell they would do if it was 4 votes for Fessy, 4 votes for Kyle's team, and then do they just send them both down into an elimination, or does the winners of the last challenge get to decide one of those teams, then pick another one? We'll never know now, especially with the numbers being odd next week. We're not going to know it all this season.
If CT, well, first of all, CT, what? Save your conscience for it's like. Why would you tell Kyle, your only like ally, that you just stabbed him in the back before a competition? Like, I did not understand why he did that.
Because
I just don't want to lie.
He's gonna find out on the night anyways when Kyle's name was up there, because Kyle would have been confused on how, if only 4 people voted for him, how it's possible. It's not. Someone had to backstab him, so he's gonna find out either way. So I think CT just said, "Hey, I'll let you know."
I guess. And then
you thought that was wrong, Pam?
Yes, I was like, tell him that, because then like you guys are on each other's. They become then. I don't know.
CT and Kyle both said in the confessionals they can't trust each other. So they don't care. Kyle would have backstabbed.
I know, but then why tell him? It's like, yup. I don't know. I guess if he was going to find out,
he's going to find out.
Is there any chance that if CT didn't do that, like what would have happened if CT did? But would it have been the tie?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
CT was the deciding vote.
CT was the swing.
So CT was looking out for himself. Okay, that makes sense to me. I don't know why he told him. It's like there's no good to come of that.
Again, it's one of those situations that you can't. I can't really blame CT for wanting to have any sort of small control over his elimination that he can, because they know it's going to be Kyle and him going down. Those are the 2 teams. If the weaker alliance, they're going down. But for entertainment and TV's sake, I would have loved to have seen what would have happened if it was a tie. So, but it comes down to CT. Do you want to take that risk and see what happens if it's a tie? I mean, do the challenge gods? Does TJ swoop in and say TJ decides now?
I mean,
like
they
because he's almighty, or is it like, well, you're going in anyway because you were the 2 highest teams voted? I just don't know what would have went down, or if it was Nany and Fessy were the second highest team under like CT and Big T, then it would have been CT versus Fessy. And obviously if that's his thinking, he's going to Kyle. So you can't really fault him, but like, what would have happened?
I get it. But I again, back with are they bored? Is it too much filler? They're throwing in possible storylines that are having no payoff, and it's frustrating to me because then I'm for like those things to come to fruition, and they're not at all.
And this is only an hour episode. Yeah. Think about that. Imagine if they had all this other for an hour and a half. It'd been awful.
I thought somehow it was going to wind up being a CT Fessy tonight because of last week, so I was still holding out hope for that.
So if they're throwing a hall brawl at us if they're throwing a hall brawl at us tonight for 2 smaller females, what the hell are they going to do for this guy elimination next week? They should have had another. If it's not another hall brawl, I'll be pissed off. I want another hall brawl. I want to be, it can't be CT now. I want it to be Fessy versus Kyle, and just that's our hall brawl next week.
Maybe they'll do
down notes. The challenge Dan wants to see: more orgies, more makeouts, just men hitting each other. We're sending a letter.
Men in a hall brawl. Yeah.
Oh, also a rose ceremony.
A rose ceremony.
Sure.
But maybe next week will be the gripper getter awayer.
Yeah, definitely more water stuff, Jenna, because I grew up on a lake. More water stuff. Write that down.
Yeah, water stuff.
Water, lakes.
Less Big Brother. Less Big Brother alliances.
More Disney characters.
Challenges.
more Disney mascots, less Big Brother human beings.
Dive through Mickey's ears into a lake. Yeah.
Love it. Slay a dragon. You must slay a dragon in the final.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay.
I mean, what does a dragon have? A dragon has fire. What does TJ love? He loves fire. He loves explosions. Makes sense. Yeah. Ladies, you want to get into the hall brawl?
Sure.
Yes, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Hall brawl happened. In the comments below, tell us if you really thought Big T had a fighting chance. Anybody, please let us know. I don't think she did. Anyone thought that?
I think you never know. She did all. That was like heartbreaking. Again, after all, it's like we got the Big TCT storyline, the true love of the season, the montage of the training. They flash back to when he prepped her on Hall Brawl for her to lose. After we waited for her to get her gold skull this whole season, it was so sad.
I think if you're asking if she had a fighting chance, she fought. I think she fought hard to her best ability. And I think that she could have had Amber in the second heat, actually. I felt like she was further along in the hallway. She had good pressure, but what ended up killing her was her speed. She couldn't get to the button fast enough. So she could have actually had a chance in the second heat, but she was too slow. She did that cardio workout. And like Cece said, it was a little bit too late.
I agree with you, Jenna, because it seemed like when that one time when she pushed her further, they were close to Amber was just faster.
Yeah, and I also think Big T needed to probably switch up her strategy a little bit, right? I mean, not that I know anything, but she probably could have gone lower on the second one, right? Go for her legs a little bit more. It was very straightforward between both of them. They just ran into each other. There was kind of no mixing it up, no strategies, no switching things around. It was just, all right, we're just gonna run into each other.
Ladies, the other thing I was disappointed in, they got rid of the bell. I like the bell when they dive for the bell more. I don't like that. I don't like this wall of buttons. So why was there 3 buttons anyways? Why do you need 3 there?
I didn't so new age.
Yeah.
Technology slaves these days.
Give me a big old bell to bang on with your fist. It's awesome. So I'm disappointed in that.
Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amber B wins and decides to take Fessy. I think that's a good move to try to break up that Big Brother stuff. That's cool. Even though they're both Big Brother, they're still is she trying to break up the Cam and Leroy thing? They're still there. I don't know. I don't know what. It was better than staying with Kyle.
Yes.
Or CT. That's for sure.
So the partner swapping thing was the best thing to come out of this episode. It was really like the only thing that really mattered in this whole entire episode. So Amber B takes Fessy, which is awesome. I mean, Fessy's up there again. He's always gonna have a pouty face when somebody takes him because he flexes and he says, of course, everybody wants me. I can't help it that everybody thinks I'm popular. What does Gretchen Wiener say? In Mean Girls, I just can't help it that everyone thinks I'm so pretty and popular and that I have so many friends. Fessy is basically Gretchen Wiener, and nobody is catching him off of the stage when he falls.
Yes.
But that was smart for Amber for so many reasons. It's funny to see Fessy be pissed off that another girl stole him for a girl that he thinks is quote unquote weaker than what he would have liked.
Wait. I mean, I think, let's discuss that. I feel like he's got Amber B's better than Nany.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
I agree. But maybe I interpreted it wrong. Didn't it kind of seem like by his face he felt a little bit disappointed that he was getting her?
Way, yep. They showed that, but that could have been a cheap editing trick because they showed that, and 2 seconds later they showed him celebrate. So I don't understand. Yeah. That seemed like a weird edit.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, but maybe I viewed that wrong.
No, you didn't. I saw it too, Jenna. He went, and then they flipped back to them, flipped right back to him like this, and he was like, yes. I'm like, wait, how did he go from to this in 2? It didn't make sense.
I have a theory. Maybe alliance wise, it's better for him to be like numbers wise. It's better for him to be with Nany because then it's in the Cam, Nany, Leroy. It's just those 3 teams, and now that's mixed up. But partner wise, I think he's better off with Amber B.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
Definitely, and as we said, there needed to be a shift in these alliances. Things needed to be mixed up with the partner. So it was great for Amber to then infiltrate Fessy's team, grab him, scoop him away. Second best part, or it depends on who you like. CT basically walking in the red carpet to the final. Kyle clearly going to be the target next week. So those are the pros and cons. not fair.
Yeah.
I know.
Nani did a huge favor for CT there. Like, let's be honest, she did by picking Kyle because she knew that they would be a rogue agent, that whoever she picked, the other person was going to be a rogue and be out of the next entire episode, basically.
Right.
So she hooked up CT.
And she kind of has to, because that's obviously her better friend as opposed to Kyle. I don't think her and Kyle are best friends by any means. And she's obviously a little bit closer to CT. But the only thing is, that's with the assurance that it is in fact going to be only a male elimination. I mean, I guess number-wise, they have to do it, right? Like, they can't make it a double. I don't know.
If they make it a double, CT's still by himself.
Yeah, so then maybe they make it a single final.
Someone could technically pick him, so he wouldn't be by himself, but there would still be one extra dude, whoever that dude is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only risk is, Nani, you might be throwing yourself down there as well if you fall on that sword, but
banking on the fact that it's going to be a guys only elimination. I guarantee you it is. It's pretty obvious. And then we just have a final 3 teams, would it be then? Yeah.
Cam, Corey, Leroy, Casey, CT, Nani.
Our brains are.
Amber B, Fessy. There's so many teams. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This season is so long. They really needed to rework the amount of people they had on this season.
Right now, it's 4 teams plus a guy. When they do one more thing, there'll be 4 teams after next week.
Okay.
What they should have done is you get your gold skull, and by a certain episode, if you don't have your gold skull, you're done. It shouldn't just be like, okay, everybody gets a fighting shot. Yes. It's like, no, if you get to episode 7 and you don't have your gold skull, bye.
Well,
and everyone just goes.
Or a purge.
I guarantee you next season, on season 37, it'll be 3rd time's the charm. They're going to have these neon skulls all figured out for everybody. And they're going to make it so by the episode 13, there's going to be 6 people on each boys, 3 boys and 3 girls still fighting to get one. And then boom, 2 people are going to have to go home. But I think that's what they tried to do this year, ladies. But so many people left just because of mental health reasons or for pregnancies or whatever, that it didn't matter. They wanted it. They wanted to have extra people, but it was, I think it's not even the producer's fault. It was kind of out of their control.
Right.
So many people left.
Right.
Yeah.
Funny enough on that subject, I had a thought the beginning of the episode. I was like, it feels like it was a million years ago that Lolo Jones was on the season.
I just wanted to say, remember Lolo?
Wes was on this. Holy crap.
No, he wasn't. Wes wasn't on this season.
Wes got hit in the face with a shoe this season.
Best part of the season.
That happened on this season. It feels like it was in December.
Million years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So less episodes, more action, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
The way back when.
Quality over quantity.
Well, speaking of more action, maybe we should get into some news and gossip and talk about the Challenge All-Stars, which will hopefully have more action than this season of the Challenge. And that premieres tomorrow, April 1st.
Yeah. But before that, hang tight, because I want to do a fan shout out to Paputa Pina, who always DMs me on Instagram. He's a great viewer and fan of the Challenge, always slipping in and letting me know some gossip and keeping me updated. So thank you very much. Shout out. Paputa Pina. I hope I pronounced your Instagram. I hope I pronounced your name right.
Fun name thank you. That's for sure.
Any info? Do we get any info? Did Paputa?
Not this week, but he is a great viewer. So shout out. Thank you for always watching, and we appreciate you.
Yes.
There we go. Right. Yes. Thank you.
I have some news and gossip.
Okay, cool.
I challenged myself today to see if I could run a quarter of a mile. Now, I don't want to brag, and I don't want to make anyone at home feel bad, but I can. But I will have to admit that it was a very slow. I would run as a strong word. It was a jog.
Okay, so you did a quarter mile, Pam. Can you give us your time?
It was probably about 5 minutes.
Okay, so in theory,
I don't think I timed it exactly, but it was approximately in my.
We would say that for a half mile, then we'll just give you a 10-minute mark then.
Okay. All right.
Half mile.
I'll train up to that and tell you how long it takes. So I'll train up to the half mile.
Well, we have a new segment premiering this week, ladies. Jenna, do you want to tell them about
And Pam, what a perfect segue into this, darling. We want to challenge all of our viewers, so all the commenters, Your homework this week is to go run a half mile and just comment in what your time duration of your half mile is. And it doesn't need to be a sprint. It doesn't need to be super fast. You just can't stop running. You can't stop moving. So half mile times.
Knee lift movement. Yeah.
Right. You have to keep going, even if you're dying. Half mile times in the comment section to see if all the shit all of us were talking, if we can back it up.
And then does the winner get a prize? But we won't know if they're lying or not,
maybe.
Right?
Yeah, we can all autograph a shirt and send it to someone. Sure.
Yeah, we'll put you in charge of that.
Everybody wants, just what everybody wants, but also to not shame my out of shape viewers out there. If you are unable to do it, fine, then we can work together to let's see what our endurance challenge of like how long it does take to build endurance. Like, can Big T do it in 4 days? Can we? I don't know. So if you literally are like, I have not moved in a year, I can't do it, we'll see how long it takes to be able to pathetically jog a half mile. Because I will say I was like, it wasn't like it was awful, but it got bored. I wanted to stop. Like, well, I was like, I don't want to be doing this anymore. Yeah.
And it was only a quarter mile. That is our challenge after show challenge of the week. Stay tuned next week for another challenge after show challenge of the week.
Oh God, we're making a reoccurring segment. All right, we better get creative.
It is a recurring segment, Jenna.
Yes.
Pick of the weeks.
Pick of the week.
Yes.
Ladies, who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, never mind.
Mine's easy. It was on, it was a Netflix movie that I watched with the comedian Eric Andre. I don't know if you guys know about him.
Yes, Bad Trip. It was so funny.
It was so funny. I was like, oh, this is going to be so stupid. A friend was over and he wanted to watch it and we watch it. And it's with Tiffany Haddish and it's just sort of a low budget comedy road trip movie that wound up being I laughed a lot. Like it's almost Borat style.
Yep.
And MTV, if you like, Jeff Tremaine was the director. The guy, it was shot
Jeff
like
Tremaine, Punk'd and all that.
They sort of did, crowd stuff. It was a fun. I laughed. Like it's
okay. I'm excited. So it's got a kind of a reality basis where they trick real people that are just
there's people that are in the movie that don't know they're
like. I love that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not mean spirited either, which is nice. It was sort of we were surprised at how nice. I don't want to give anything away, but it was a fun, sweet, a nice and easy watch.
I co-signed. It was hilarious. I love it. I love Eric Andre. I feel like his humor is just so chaotic. And it's just always like very out of left field. So if you enjoy that, it was really good. And I feel like they did a really good job making it an actual storyline, an actual movie within like a hidden camera movie.
Right.
Like they blended that really well. Yeah. And the people, it's hard to believe some of the moments. And again, this is a good teaser, not a spoiler. Some of the moments were just so ridiculous and idiotic that you don't know how people actually were reacting authentically, believing it. And they show you at the credits that people really were. They weren't acting. They were like truly just real humans passing by who were shocked by something that was just so ridiculous.
Yeah. And I think, so I do have some on this, which is interesting of what you're saying, Jenna, because I remember after seeing Borat or something like that, being like, how on earth are you gonna, have someone smoke in the courtroom? Like things that were, and I talked to someone who, some insider Hollywood stuff, who worked on it or knew someone, and they said, listen, today, the network, they told all the people, it was a TV show, so they came into the taping of something, and they said, it's like the network head's nephew, and he's a little off, like, don't say anything. Like, they told the staff of the show, this guy might seem weird. And this was before Borat, so people weren't looking for Borat. He wasn't as recognizable. And it was like, so don't say anything. Like they had a sort of qualifier that some behavior might be tolerated that wouldn't necessarily, because it was like the head of the network's nephew who's a little off, like was coming in. So that's why people were like this is weird, but we can't quite yell at him. So that they might, I don't know. Sometimes
you don't want to shame the person.
More interesting, exactly.
Who's a little off. Yeah, I've heard that as well with Borat, where the producers reach out beforehand and they have to clear that person, right? They have to get a signed appearance release to make sure that they're okay being photographed. So they tell people like, hey, we're doing a documentary,
Right.
like, and they just don't really give them information about what it's about, or maybe something that's like a little bit of a white lie, or just not the full truth. So people are a little bit like, oh, like this is a documentary about someone from blank country, like wherever Bora was from, I can't remember. So that way the people who are seeing the cameras come in, because also think about like if you're working at a FedEx shop and a whole bunch of cameras come in, you're going to be like, get out. Right. So you have to like know a little bit beforehand that you're going to be filmed.
And then the general public has to sign their waiver after. And they have to go around. And then if they don't sign it, they have to blur their faces. And that's a whole pain in the ass. So they try to get as many signatures as they can.
Yeah. And the Eric Andre one is really good because one of the spots they go to is in New Jersey. And I loved it.
And I love his friend. I don't know the guy who played his friend's name, but he's very lovable.
Oh, he's so great. He's in Get Out as well.
Yeah. That's funny because I thought it was him, but he's lost a ton of weight since Get Out. He's much bigger. I mean, he's small, physically smaller. Maybe Eric Andre is really tall.
He has a fun name too. Isn't it like Little something? No, what's his name?
I don't know, but he's cute. He's sweet looking. And Tiffany Haddish is in it. She's a big star.
Oh yeah, Lil Ray Howery.
I knew it.
Cute.
He's the best.
Sweet. Yeah, it was funny. Okay.
Wait, why don't I see? Oh, that is him. Okay, good. Yeah, Bad Trip, Bud Malone. Okay.
What about you, Jenna? What do you got?
Okay, I'm so excited about mine this week. I didn't even think about Bad Trip, even though it's incredible, because my heart has just been so invested in Ted Lasso on Apple TV.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I want to.
So good. First off, Jason Sudeikis is life. He can get it. He's amazing. So for those who don't know, if have never seen the SNL skit, it started with I thought it was SNL because Jason Sudeikis is an SNL guy, but I think it was actually a promo for NBC Sports to try to kind of promote them covering soccer, international soccer. So what they did was they did a skit of an American like college football coach, like Kansas or something, Kentucky, I think it is, like strong, thick accent, goes overseas, goes to England and is like now trying to get acclimated to coaching soccer. Doesn't even know that there's two halves, doesn't know that there's ties. He thinks everything is 4 quarters, everything goes to the playoffs. Like, so it's all just a really funny play on like the difference between American football and like actual using your feet football, what we call soccer. So it's just really funny. And you think that it's going to be just a comedy, but it actually is like really good in-depth characters. And it ends up just being like a good addicting show because you want to see like where the drama also goes, like the dramatics of the storyline. So like huge recommend, super bingeable. They're like half-hour episodes. You can watch it in 2 days. It's like, it's so good. I feel like you will not be disappointed.
I will check it out. Good recommendation. I'm excited.
And I've started that show, Jenna, but I haven't finished it yet. But now you've given me, I'm going to go finish it now.
Well, what do you think? Am I overhyping it?
No, I liked it. Everyone's overhyping it. I personally think,
really?
But I do. It's not just you. Everyone's like, it's the best thing ever. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think I went in with too much hype behind it.
Oh, damn. I didn't mean to do that then.
Well, I was already watching, so it's not your fault. It's someone else's fault, Jenna. Yeah. But it's good.
Right, well, then don't get too excited. Just watch it for what it is.
So, you know what I mean? Like when I like Jason Sudeikis, I usually enjoy it.
No, he's great. It's a fun show. It's fun. It's a fun show. All right. So the show I have is on HBO Max. It's a movie. It's called Man on a Ledge. It came out in like 2012, and I finally have HBO Max now. It's my own.
Oh, look out!
And I'm watching HBO Max, and I just see this movie, Man on a Ledge. It stars Sam Worthington from Avatar fame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know this one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Banks, and it's a guy. He's just trying to prove his innocence the whole movie, and there's a lot of fun twists and turns. Highly recommended. Man on a Ledge.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I think I saw it a long time ago.
It's 9 years old, ladies, but it's really good.
All right. Hey.
Wait, do they? In a comedy, tell me if you know this scene. Isn't there somebody, maybe it's in this movie, that is like on the ledge of something, and I'm talking quietly because it's just like really dark humor that's really shouldn't be funny, but they end up playing that song by Third Eye Blind, the one that's like, wish you would step up. I think it's in a comedy, but like how dark.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is dark. What's the?
No, it's not. It's funny. It's funny.
It's what's his face? It's that Latino actor's on the ledge, and they start. Isn't it Yes Man? It's Yes Man with Jim Carrey, and he plays the guitar with them and brings them back inside, and they play the Third Eye Blind song. It's Yes
Man.
It's with Jim.
Yeah, or is that
I think I'm right. I think I'm right. It's Yes Man with Jim Carrey.
It is Yes Man.
No, you guys are. I would never in a million
Well,
years.
Jim Carrey is one of my favorite actors of all time. Not
Yeah.
so much recently, but back in the day in the 90s.
Yeah,
Oh,
But it's
why
Yes Man.
not so much recently? These are the questions that need to be asked. Forget about the
Well, that movie-
challenge.
that
What's your beef with Jay
Yeah,
Carrey
why
now?
does Dan hate Jim Carrey?
What's your beef?
First of all, that movie came out in 2009, and as I think any fan of Jim Carrey's can admit, his best films were all in the 90s. Like, so that
What
I
is
hate Jim Carrey.
90s?
What has he been up to these days, Jim Carrey?
The last good movie he did was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind in 2004. Bruce Almighty came out in 2003. So shall I go on? And the rest was before that. So there you go.
Okay, so you're like a super stalker fan.
We're due for a funny. I like Cable Guy. Cable Guy. Oh, I recommend Cable Guy.
Yeah, well, that's got 90s written all over it. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Pam, I gave you credit. I DM'd you on Instagram.
I saw the picture. I loved it.
And you called out Fessie's ballerina outfit as Jim Carrey from the original Ace Ventura, and bam,
Ace Ventura, yeah.
And people were using that meme all week for Fessie, and I was like, Pam said it on the show before those memes came out. Just saying.
Breaking memes right here.
Yeah, you did
on Talk. Really Talk memes.
Anyways, all right. So we've learned a little bit about all of us tonight. I apparently used to be a model, and I love Jim Carrey, so that's fantastic.
What did we learn about Pam and I?
I could slowly, pathetically jog and getting
okay.
And a fourth of a mile, Jenna.
Okay. And that's Jenna.
And Jenna, it's apparently warm in Jersey, and you're saying F off to everyone else that's in warmer weather. You're saying it's warm enough here, and I can survive it, and you can't hit humidity like I can.
And I have a crush on Jason Sudeikis, so.
We learned a lot tonight.
This is a good.
So Jenna, every week someone wants to know what the hell alcohol is behind you.
I know, and I can never tell.
Is it a bar cart? Is it like a makeshift bar cart on a barrel? I'm confused about the setup.
That would be so wrong for our viewership.
If
I spill the beans, a viewer must find out for themselves.
It starts with an L. It starts with an L, I think.
Some people might tune in just for the liquor bottle.
I bet they do.
And they stare at it.
We're gonna have to someone's gonna have to zoom it up and see. I did see sort of an L.
Yeah,
that will be
get way too close to my ring light. Whew.
There you go.
Before this season, Double Agents, I almost forgot what the season was called. Before Double Agents ends, someone must reveal this bottle.
Okay, and you have to send it to whoever.
I'll do a little. Oh.
Pam loves giving stuff away. So we're gonna give you T-shirts. We're gonna give you alcohol.
Yep.
Good, Pam. Good luck, Pam. I never seen those things.
Also, you have to guess where this picture is. How about that?
Montana.
Looks like the Oregon Trail to me.
No. Neither.
And Lasso's backyard.
Montana.
Montana.
Yeah. Are those elephants? Is it Africa? It's Africa. It's Africa.
But where in Africa?
Trying to make me get so close to that light. I know your games.
I'm just trying to trip you up.
Yep. All right. Well, I don't know how much more I have in me.
All right. Final thoughts, ladies. Anything before we go?
I'm so sad about Big T. That was just really heartbreaking. She really, really had a good season, and I would have loved to see her go to a final.
I think she made it far enough, and this was the perfect place for her to be done because I don't want to see her in a final, personally.
Heartless Jim Carrey hater.
When Jim Carrey's movies started getting bad, a piece of Dan has died. He's dark now.
Died inside.
So anybody that comments and wonders, they're like, Dan always has something to say. You know, they're always like, Dan, you're such a hater. Well, this is why you have to learn to understand people. There's a reason we are the way we are, and it's because of Jim Carrey.
Somebody hop in the comments and tell me why Mr. Popper's Penguins was any good, and I'll change my mind on Jim Carrey's film career.
What the hell is even that?
I Love You, Philip Morris, but that was in the early 2000s, right?
Actually, that might have been like 2010. That might have been the last one that I was like, okay, this has some good stuff in it. Yeah.
I also want to know the commenters who have watched this entire thing and didn't leave after the first 7 minutes, because I feel like we were very depressed in the beginning. Things have picked up though. Like I kind of like where our conversation went.
if you watched it till this point right now, type in the code word code blue, and we'll know that you watched it all the way to this moment. Code
Yes,
blue.
Dan, I love it. I love it.
We'll know who the real fans are.
Yep.
All right, we got to go. We're out of here.
No.
We don't have to actually, but we're going
Thank you
to.
guys.
I just pulled up a list of Jim Carrey movies.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Save that for next week. Yeah.
No, I don't remember next week. Go
But
ahead.
he was in A Christmas Carol in 2009.
Keep going. That's nothing. That's awful. Keep going.
What else?
He was in Drunk History. He was in The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Awful movie with Steve Carell about magicians.
Kick-Ass 2?
Kick-Ass was awesome. Kick-Ass 2 wasn't as good, and Jim Carrey's character in it wasn't like funny.
Okay.
Sonic, how about Sonic the Hedgehog?
God.
He played Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog. Awful.
What is The Bad Bitch 2016? I need to find out.
I haven't watched it, so maybe it's good.
Let's watch it. Please, can we all watch it?
Let's make that our second review.
Yeah, our
first
group
half the challenge, second half
The Bad
Bitch.
Is it a TV show or is it a movie though?
It's a movie. It has.
Jenna, can you tell us how to watch it? Like, is it on net? Can you look up how to watch The Bad Bitch?
We're not
Oh
going
my
to
God,
find it.
you never heard of Pam?
it.
I'll offline you with a little sneaky snick website so that I don't ruin it for the people.
But I want everyone to know how we can.
Well,
watch
if everyone
The Bad
knows,
Bitch.
then it gets
We want them to watch
destroyed.
it.
I know. Okay, everyone's gonna have to buy it. You're gonna have to buy
so you have to
it.
buy it. That's what I was wondering. Is there a free place to watch it? That was what I was after. Is it streaming for free? That was the question I meant to ask.
I don't know. I got to do some research. I don't know offhand if The Bad Bitch is streaming.
Right. Can we change the thing from Code Blue? We'll still accept Code Blue, but to Bad Bitch.
Wait, I think you can get it on Netflix, actually. Keanu Reeves is in this?
What?
No, yes. And Jason
Goodbye,
Momoa.
guys. Goodbye. Turning on
This
the back.
might be good, Jenna. This might be a good movie.
Sign me the F up. It's rated R. I'm done.
Kim's got to go.
Yeah, I have a movie to watch.
Oh, she's talking to Luke. Luke!
Bad bitch. No, I'm talking to the bad bitch. It's so funny.
Hey, Luke. Hey, Luke.
CJ?
Not in here. I was pretending I was turning on.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Luke.
Where's CJ?
CJ.
She's trying to. Does he answer to that now? Like we call him, he actually goes. He answers.
No, but nobody else lives with us. So if he hears a name yelled,
okay, guys. Second code. If you are still watching this after Code Blue, type in the comments code baddie.
Baddie. Oh no! I just have another recommendation. I'll save it for. I can save it for next week.
Okay, we should go.
All right, bye everybody. Thanks for watching episode 16 of the
Bye, guys.
Next week, episode 17. Bye.